Okay, here we go. So last time I was doing the final Mount Battle area. Oh wait, I don't need to do any of this. So I'd already beaten most of the trainers. I think I had gotten to 97, like I had beat 97. And Cloud kept dying. Just every battle, every single battle, everything targeted Cloud. I don't understand. He's been through enough. Okay. Oh, is that what this... Is that what the beginning of this sounds like? The final countdown? I don't think I wanna bring the sun out. That just seems like a bad idea. Wanted to say that. Oh, because of the... because we're in the final area, counting down the final trainers. I'll put a light screen. Hey, Dragon Dance. That ain't good. Oh, Earthquake. That makes sense to do. So it does exactly what my Altaria will do. Use Dragon Dance and then use Sky Attack. Gonna have to do everything we can to stop that from happening. They don't seem to be actively bullying Cloud. Yeah, well, I think the reason for that is that I'm knocking them out too fast. Huh, well, yeah, maybe not. once Cloud was out for the whole battle and didn't die. I think that the fact that I have Genesis instead of Zac out in front, I think that's helping. Because Zac is more defensive and passive. But Genesis is offensive. Okay, we've got to get Cloud out of here. That Crawdaunt going to eat him. Yeah. What's the other one? Okay, Magneton. So, yeah. Pull Zac out. Shockwave. Huh. That's a bad sign. He needs to hit. I was not willing to gamble on paralysis not working. Listen, only one of my Pokemon uses physical moves. I think now it's time to have Zac retreat because of that Heracross. I mean, bug-type moves will hurt Cloud a lot too, but fighting won't. Didn't really need to worry about that, I suppose. Yeah, so I was under-leveled for the final boss fight, but now I'm over-leveled. For Mount Battle. So I guess you're intended to do Mount Battle beforehand? I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't have to. No, wait, no, they are about the same level, right? Yeah, because most of the boss's Pokemon were at level 60, I think. The last boss here that's of Mount Battle might have higher level Pokemon, I'm not sure. You know what? Of course. First have a stage right above the lava, have all the stands right above the lava. It'll be fine. All of this is made of metal as well. I mean, I guess every material would either melt or burn. But, you know, metals conduct heat very well. Oh, he's doing the villain thing where he has his back to... He has his back to me. He did see. Mother... I'm sorry. Is that... Like, he looked... Never mind. But he looks like that one... He looks like that one wrestler. I don't remember his name. It wasn't Macho Man Randy Savage, was it? Or was it somebody else? I don't know. Hulk Hogan? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not into wrestling, so I wouldn't know. I barely know, like, any famous people at all. Like, there'll be some, like, you know, like, this celebrity does this thing, like, articles and stuff, and I'm just like, I have no idea who that person is. Oh, right, he uses the Dakin strategy, doesn't he? Where most of his Pokemon are either immune to Earthquake or no Protect. Yes. So Angeal was a poor choice for this. Jeez. I'm sorry, Angeal. So if it, so that, won't affect her now. Let's see. Let's do Dragon Dance. good. Oh, the resolution just flipped out for a second. Did that show up? I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was only for a second. Fewer them on spears of ice. Actual Sephiroth dialogue, by the way. That's why I said it. Oh, he's still standing. Awesome. You'll pay for that. Okay, so he has a Flygon. How is the brother standing? Yeah, there's this one where what's his name? Is it Addison? I don't remember. But he's got that freaking, the sign is like hanging over a cliff. And you have to use one of the Zonai floating devices to hold it up. It's like, what are you doing? Again, the resolution flipped out. What's going on? I mean, it's not too much of a problem. It's just weird. Never seen it do that. I love that. He just wiggles like a fish on a line. Download more RAM. Is that a joke or? Yeah, that is a joke. Oh wait, I just realized something. Absolutely kill Ikara. So I think what I'm gonna do... Well, he just used Dragon Dance, so he's not gonna use Ice Beam, is he? He used Earthquake. I know he has Earthquake. And he just used Dragon Dance, which raises attack, not special attack. So if I send Angeal out, it might just be straight... Like, if I revive him, it might just be straight into death. revive him, but I'll switch him out. I'll switch Ikara out with Zack and just see what happens. See what he does. Oh, Hyper Beam. Okay. I love how that didn't even put him into the yellow. Like, yeah, take a giant freaking laser to the face, it's fine. But I can use the recharge time, yeah. Thanks, Hulk Hogan. I just want to see what else is going on. So there's just this, and alright, so that's, there's nothing there and that's pointless. Alright. Oh, and there's a hole in the floor. Of course there is. Also, it's got these little raised things next to it, so it's hard to see that this is there. Who designed this? Osha? Never heard of her. Yeah, there is an option to teleport back to the front desk, but I kind of wanted to look around the battlefield a little bit. But the NPC in every break room will teleport you. But the first time I ever did this, I walked all the way back down through all the areas. Because I wanted to. It made it more, I guess, significant to me, because I had just, you know, beaten Mount Battle. It was like an achievement. Okay, so now all I have to do... Okay. Might have Shadow Ball. Yeah, here's Shadow Ball. teach that to Cloud real quick. Yeah, I do wish that I had I do wish the Calm Mind TM, because I would teach that to him instead. Actually, hang on, when does... Oh wait, no, I wouldn't, because, I want him to have an attack that isn't Psychic, because Psychic completely does not affect Dark. I don't want him to be completely helped, even though, you know, it's like you're already fucked. But at least there would be a fighting chance, you know, kind of. So even though Shadow Ball is a physical move... Well, I mean, it became a special move after the physical special split in Gen 4. You know, where they made it make sense. A game that never ends and keeps on giving amazing gifts. Okay, so I think I gave everybody the moves that I want. Yeah, just, I want to change these moves here. Yeah. Yep, so now I've got to decide what items I want to give them. Arrange them. So... yeah, there we go. So I could just give them the items that boost the power of their type. Those aren't as viable. Aren't as viable, but not like I'm going up against real people. Sayani, German for Espeon. Oh, that's cool. The only language, the only other name for Espeon that I know is this Japanese name, Efi. So I'm gonna have to figure... oh, these are berries. So... Ryuga... Hamura no Mi. Yatabi no Mi. Sua no Mi. You get super rare berries here. Yeah, I do know that. It's just that, I don't know which ones they are because it's in Japanese. I don't know. I want to see... hang on. So this one raises... I think this one raises special defense when health is low. Because this says, Tokubo, and that's special defense. And Tokuko is special attack, so that raises special attack when health is low. Tsubaya, that's speed, so this is the Select Berry. Ganlon Berry, which raises defense. That would be this one. This is the Ganlon Berry. And Yagi. Special attack, special defense. And not the one that raises attack in a pinch. That's interesting. Down here? No, no, they don't have it. That's interesting. Tabe no Koshi. Starfberry. Which one is that? I mean, I know what it looks like, I just don't remember what it does. I remember it has, like, all the flavors, which sounds terrible. It probably tastes really gross. But it looks cool. Raises a random stat by 2 stages. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all I remember is that it has all the flavors and it looks cool. Okay, so tabe no tabe. Well, isn't tabemono food? This is leftovers. This is leftovers, isn't it? Yeah, that's definitely leftovers. Because I was like, what the fuck item is food? And, you know, not a berry. That would be in this, and... Oh, that's leftovers, that's right. Menta... u... tabu. Okay, so that's mental herb. That one snaps you out of an infatuation, or I think it might work on confusion too, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it does. This one is Hiai no Hachi Maki. That's the focus band. Because a Hachimaki is like a headband thing. Well, it's either the focus band or the choice scarf. Or choice band, rather. It's either focus band or choice band. And one of them I like, and one of them I do not like. I don't like choice band because it, you know, it locks you into a move. So you can't set up. Okay. Shiroi, oh, that's the white herb. That restores any lowered stat. Sensei no Sume. I don't know what Sume is. What would that be? Because it's not XP share. That would have been my first guess, but it's not XP share. It's something else. Not the macho race either. I definitely don't think that. I don't know. Hikari no Kona. The Hikari, I think, is light. Is this a light ball for Pikachu to hold? That's the only guess I've got. Oja no Hirushi. Read out the list. No, I'm having kind of a fun time trying to figure out what each one is. That's why I'm playing the Japanese version rather than the English version. I'm gonna try and figure them out on my own first. And then I've got the strategy guide right here. So, so I know that O can mean big, but I wouldn't know what that pertains to either. And Bintoren. Pintorenzu. I think that's lens. So I don't remember the item that is lens. It's something lens. Scope lens. I think it's scope lens. Kodawari Hachimaki. Oh, okay, so this one of these, the other Hachimaki up here, so one of these is the choice band and one of them is the focus band. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I don't really think I'm that smart, I can just read a little bit of Japanese. I know how to pronounce all of the kana. I might not know what it means. I usually don't. Okay, so that's all. Okay, so now I'm gonna look at the list and see how many I got. Okay. So these are all the hands you can get. Okay. So Ganlonberry, Salakberry, Pitaya Berry, Apricot Berry. Leftovers. I was right about leftovers. Okay, so... And mental herb. Well, that literally is mental herb. Like it says, mentaru herbu. Well, herbu. So... I just could read that out. Yai no Hachimaki. Okay, so that is... Okay, so this one is the focus band. So I was right that it was one of the bands. And this is the white herb. Sensei, no. This is the quick claw? Okay, that's weird. And... Hari. Bright powder! I forgot that bright powder existed. Still pretty neat how you're able to figure it out from context. Oh, yeah, I just know a couple words in Japanese. And then... Okay, so King's Rock is the next one. Okay. So, I wouldn't have been able to figure that one out. But I got scope lens. And that's the choice band. So, I got them half... I got the bands half right, because I couldn't figure out which one was. Oh, I only have 6,300 points. Need 10,000 for the bright powder. To be fair, I can't even remember half the list in English. Yeah, but it's not like it needs to be. You don't need to memorize it unless you're trying to play it in a language you don't understand. Okay, so I do want Zach to hold the bright powder. So this. Wish you could wish list items. you can remember which ones you have. And I want to get the leftovers here. I need 20,000. Now, you get points for doing the Mount Battle Challenge in battle mode, but I think I will have to do it in story mode because I won't be able to put the item on the Pokemon in the team that I register because I won't have that item yet. Because I'm gonna have to get it in story mode in order to carry that over to battle mode. So I'm just gonna have to battle stuff. That's the King's Rock Scope Lens. That's the Choice Band. I might want the Focus Band, but I'm not entirely sure. I know I want to give Zach the Bright Powder. Give Sephi the leftovers, because then he can slowly heal over time, and he's already just so tanky. Favorite in the list is that one with the smiley face. Oh, this one? Yeah, so that smiley face is the letter, S. But then there's one that looks kinda similar to it. That is she. Like right here. In this one. That's she. And then the one with only one I is N. So just regular N. The only one without a vowel sound. And that's katakana. So I don't know why they have two different phonetics, like letters, two different alphabets that do the same exact thing. Like one of them is just for foreign words and some other things like onomatopoeia. But it's like, why don't they just use hiragana for everything? Like, I mean, I'm sure that there's a reason, but I don't know what that reason is. It seems weird. That sounds really confusing. Yeah, so if you're learning Japanese, you have to learn two different alphabets. And then you also have to learn kanji, which is kind of like Chinese, in which each like symbol represents a whole word. So I'm not very good on kanji. Because some of them are pronounced differently and mean completely different things depending on context. As for formal, and one is additionally. But yeah, I think that because hiragana is used for both particles, so like stuff like and, or, is, and it's also used to spell out Japanese words phonetically, and it's also used to conjugate verbs. So like using the correct tense of a verb. And like a couple other things. And katakana is used for foreign words and for onomatopoeia, and there's a couple other things it's used for. So I wonder if it's like, now we have to make sure that the foreign words are separated. I mean, that might not be too far off, because I do know that Japan used to be isolationist. So they didn't want to interact with any other countries. I mean, they're a bunch of islands, so it's easier to do that. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do the whole challenge. Has anyone told you you have a nice voice? What? Why are you being so nice to me? But thank you. I think my voice is annoying. Like, when I'm, like, editing things, I'm like, oh man, that's so grating, that's so annoying. But I guess most people dislike the sound of their own voice. I'm just saying the truth. It's like podcast levels of entertaining. That got me thinking, though. If I did a podcast, what the heck would it be about? Not that I would do something like that, because it's just not my kind of thing. But hear you rant about anything. Yeah, I mean, I like science. So, like, yeah, I think if I ever did a podcast, it would be something about probably insects and arachnids, and how, like, just kind of information about them, and that most of them are harmless even if they look freaky. And there's a lot of myths. You know, because a lot of people do tend to either hate or be afraid of things like spiders and stuff, and that's an understandable fear. They move really weird. But, like, there's a lot of weird rumors about some arachnids, like camel spiders. There's a lot of weird rumors about them. So kanji is literally Chinese characters. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because Japan is kind of like a daughter language to Chinese. Japanese is a daughter language to Chinese, rather. Next podcast talks about bug-type Pokemon. I do like some of the bug types. But Ariados tends to bother me, Spinarak and Ariados, because they both only have 6 legs. And they're arachnids. They're supposed to have 8. Like, technically, Ariados only walks on 4. And 2 of its legs are kind of on top, on the dorsal side of the abdomen for some reason. And I do not know why the legs would migrate there. I mean, like, nitpicking. Maybe 8 was deemed too scary and they went for 6. What I figure is animation. Because it's harder to animate 8 separate limbs than it is to animate 4 or 6. I mean, it's why a lot of cartoon characters only have, 3 fingers instead of 4 fingers. Because it's just easier to animate. You have less moving parts, it's easier to animate, basically. That's actually why the dragons in the first Spyro game, like the original on the PlayStation. It's why they were on 2 legs, like they stood up bipedally instead of quadrupedally like Spyro. And the reason that they did that is that even though they wanted to have them on 4 legs for it to be consistent, it meant that it would use less polygons to make them stand upright to still be able to move. Like they could put more effort into the dragon's gesturing. No, a lot of people did rubber hose style drawings because gloves were easier. On Mickey Mouse, yeah. Yeah, I do like that, that style of animation. I'm not the sort of person that likes games like Cuphead, but I really liked the animation. Like, I watched Vinny play it, and I was just like, man, that is some really good animation. Neru the Corgi is raiding with a party of excuse me? I'm being raided? No. First time raider chat. Thank you. Thank you. This is like the first time I've ever been raided. That's so nice, thank you. Yeah, it is the first time. Normally, like, often when I streamed, I only had my mods watching, like, my mods were the only ones that were watching. And, I was fine with that, because, they're my friends. When did you start it? Well, I've been streaming, like, on and off for, like, a couple years. It's just that sometimes I've gotten long periods where I don't stream ever. So it's just been kind of sporadic. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Well, it doesn't matter. Because Flamethrower will still decimate everything at level 17. Katakana was invented to transcribe foreign language. Oh. Oh, yeah. That makes sense, because then it's like... this is a foreign word, this will be new to you. Kind of thing. And thinking of everything. But hiragana was popularized by women because they weren't as educated and used simplified writing instead of the more complex older characters. So hiragana... Okay, so they started writing things out phonetically? Game as well. Played XD, but I skipped Colosseum. Yeah, Colosseum I would say is a little bit harder than XD, but XD is still harder than the mainline games. But Colosseum was literally the first Pokemon game that I ever played. So, like, well, technically the first Pokemon game that I ever played was Pokemon Channel, but that was like, it was kind of like Hey You, Pikachu. So it wasn't like, you didn't battle, you just hung out with Pikachu. So I don't really count that. Katakana is inspired by Indian script because it was invented by Buddhists, and hiragana is from cursive Japanese. Women used while men used non-cursive. interesting. You'll get lost in it. Yeah, XD had a lot more shadow Pokemon. Colosseum only had 48 shadow Pokemon, and so there were 52 Pokemon available because there are 4 non-shadow Pokemon, which were Umbreon, Espeon, Fussel, and Ho-Oh. So technically there are only 52 Pokemon obtainable in this game, but the limited roster actually was kind of interesting. Lost in my house when I started for like 2 to 3 days. Where is the exit? Yeah, the lab is a little bit confusing. Like, and then the Cypher lab is also confusing. I'd say, though, that the most confusing place is the Team Snag'em base. It kind of makes me think of the mansion on Cinnabar Island in Pokemon Red and Blue. Where it's like, if the house was intact, you would be able to just kind of go wherever you wanted, but there's stuff blocking hallways and stuff, so you have to, like, remember really convoluted ways of how to get into a certain room. Well, so easily in games, yes, so do I. Some people, like, kind of shit on quest markers because it's like, you know, it's so handholdy, but it's like, no, I will get lost. If I do not have quest markers, I will not know what to do. Or at least I'll have a much harder time figuring out. Like, Neopets the Darkest Fairy didn't have quest markers. Then again, that game is kind of held together by string and glue, so... Have a good one. Okay, good night. I'm attempting to watch a playthrough, but I was like, do I really need to watch a walkthrough to leave my own house? Man, you're making me miss Darkest Fairy. Yeah, that was one of the things that I have considered streaming. But yeah, Darkest Fairy is like so clunky and so glitchy, but I love it. Like, I've never really played any other game like it. Like, I guess, like, Zelda games are kind of similar, but like, I guess same genre, but I'm just really sad they never made another one like it, because I gotta say, as a furry, games where you play as an anthropomorphic animal are in the game genres that I like, is a bit uncommon. This being a kitty in Monster Hunter, yeah, they need to bring back Prowler mode. Next Monster Hunter game needs to have Prowler mode. That is non-negotiable. Capcom, you have to do this. Just do it. Or like they could do a spin-off game that they actually release internationally. Because there was one feline game that they did, but I think that was Japan exclusive, I think. Having more armor than the regular hunter. Yeah, like I spent a whole bunch of time doing the same, like, Prowler quest over and over that I kept timing out on. Because, like, I wouldn't die, I would just, like, I wasn't, like, triple carding or anything, it's just I was running out of time. But I was very determined, because it was an event quest that gets you materials for specific things. And so, like, basically, I had to do that quest, like, 5 times before I finally managed to do it in time. Because I wasn't as proficient as a Prowler as I was as a regular hunter. But, you know, I made Kashi because I modeled my hunter after Sephiroth, and I'm like, well, there is a cat character. It's Kashi. Or Ketchi, I think. Well, Ketoshi is how it's pronounced in Japanese, but the actual mythical creature it is named after is called a Kachi, which is like old, like, Gaelic or something. Then I also had a Palico modeled after my cat, because, of course. Imagine a Prowler mode with, like, you know, rise levels of customization of the Palicos. That would be incredible. stuck in the dog. Oh yeah, the Palamutes. Well, I bet you would still be able to have Palamutes in a Palico game. Because I think that Palamutes are just gonna be a feature now. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be in every Monster Hunter game from now on. Could be wrong. But it feels like it's a mechanic that will stay. Unlike the wire bug. Now what? Wait. There. Better. Our bug took some time to get used to. Yeah, I almost feel like I might have had an easier time of it since Rise was my first Monster Hunter game. So, like, I was learning it while I was learning the rest of the controls. So I wasn't used to... So it's not like I was used to, like, Worlds stuff. Because I had never played World. Called Doggo, not Dog Stop. Oh, Doggo, not Dog Stop. I get it, I get it. What's the dog doing? Yeah, that was literally me when fighting Luna Garen for the first time. It's just like, what's the dog doing? It's like, you know, when it stood up, I was just like, oh. I was not expecting it to stand up. It was like a starter Pokemon. Oh dear. I hope I'm not being too loud. I don't think I am. I haven't gotten complaints yet. But also, none of the... At least from what I understand, none of the bedrooms share a wall. I don't think they do. Like, the wall of my bedroom is connected to the living room of the neighbors. Or like the kitchen, rather. But every so often, I catch myself like, oh, I'm speaking kind of loud. And again, I don't normally hear the neighbors talking. Pretty quiet voice. Well, it's probably because I'm making this effort. Because when I get excited about something or like really into a conversation, my volume goes up and I don't really notice it often until I'm like, oh, I'm talking really loud. When I get excited about something, I think it might be an autistic thing. have problems with volume control because, well, I'm autistic. Quiet, but it is loud in passion. Yeah, about that. Sorry, I'm not gonna go any further than that. I love that Sandshrew, like, the scales are basically just like bricks. Has the texture of a brick wall. Definitely agree about being less. I'm not saying that out loud. One of the reasons I'm looking forward to Crisis Core. Yeah. Yeah, I will probably explode. When I say that strong beliefs when you talk about... Yeah. Yeah, I get that you didn't mean that. I was just joking. It's basically just button mashing. I mean, it'll get more involved as I go up. But right now, I'm just kind of... one-shotting everything. Yeah, Crisis Core is gonna be fun because I am horny on main for one of the characters. No clear concept of joking, it's a blind road for me to step on. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to realize that a person is joking. say a lot funny hot. Oh god, fan art I've seen of that Pokemon. Like, that is Gardevoir territory. Back agreeing or not. Yes, sometimes it is hard to tell. Somebody is saying something is hot. It's like, I can't tell if you're joking, and that frightens me. Yeah, part of me is tempted to beat up the frames. But, like, also, I'm just like, well, that just makes it so very, very clear I'm using Dolphin. Even though, I mean, I have the game. Like, I have the physical game in my house. Though it's kind of a, like, kind of a touchy subject a little bit. Personally think stuff like, you know, emulation, modding, and all that stuff, like, morally, like, I think that's fine if you own the game. I'm just personally not gonna touch anything else. I think that's literally soil, because I think Tsuchi is soil, and Nin from ninja. Because I mean, it's Nin Keita from Keita in English. I like Anorith so much. Like, the animal that it's based off of, Anomalocaris, is one of my favorite extinct animals. It's just so Weird. Basically, when it comes to fossils in ancient life, I love the Paleozoic. Like, the Mesozoic with dinosaurs and stuff, it's cool and all, but Paleozoic is when things were just real. And most of the mass extinctions occurred during the Paleozoic because life was kind of messing around. Like, the very complex ecosystems that we have now were just starting to develop. Like, when plants evolved, it just kind of, the whole entire climate just flipped out. Because plants take in carbon dioxide, so they were removing it from the atmosphere. And there weren't really a lot of animals to put it back. Paleozoic era was basically life's alpha development. Yeah, basically. That was the alpha build of Earth. Like, the Hadean Eon was, like, pre-alpha. Kabuto was interesting. Or, Kabuto, rather. Yeah, the horseshoe crab. I like horseshoe crabs, they're really weird. And the helix fossil. Yeah, ammonite. Speaking of, ammonites are also really cool. Yeah, ammonites are also from the Paleozoic. And same with horseshoe crabs. I think they evolved then. I mean, the Paleozoic is a huge span of time, longer than the Mesozoic and the Cenozoic. I didn't have to eat leaves. Well, some leaves are tasty. I don't know. I like spinach. That's leaves, isn't it? I don't know. Not too much of a lettuce or cabbage fan, though. Are plants what happens when life just does all the cardio and skips leg day? I guess? But yeah, like, when plants first evolved and, like, sucked most of the CO2 out of the atmosphere, well, CO2 is a greenhouse gas, so it keeps the Earth warm. So everything froze. And it always just would take a while for the climate to just kind of balance itself. Because it would just freak out. The Ice Age. Yeah, this was Snowball Earth. Like, that's literally what it's called, Snowball Earth. There were 2 periods of time where the Earth was completely frozen over. Like, all the way to the equator. Dinosaur, Ice Age. I don't get it. Oh, it is? It's a meme? Okay. Like, I figured it was a joke. I just wasn't understanding what the joke actually was. But it's a meme. Tells me all I need to know. It's a Pokemon joke? You know about the Earth freezing over, like... Yeah, that was, like, way early. Like, basically the most complex animals that lived at that time were sponges. Actually a Batman movie joke from Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm not, like, into the superhero genre very much. There is only one character from any superhero franchise that I like. And that's Loki. So, you know, obviously, of course I like the supervillain. Someone made a Pokemon Royale, and this was the winner. Made a pun before killing off the last Pokemon. Oh, so it was like one of the dinosaur Pokemon. Gotta love how plants just breathed so hard they froze the plant. Yeah, that is exactly what happened. The Carboniferous also did that to a lesser extent. Because the scale trees, which aren't actually trees, but the scale trees, which ended up forming most of the coal that we find today, but they were so prolific and widespread that they did cool the planet. So it wasn't ice from, you know, covering the whole Earth, but it changed the climate enough that they all died. Actually, I think the first mass extinction that we know of. I don't remember when it occurred. Maybe the Ediacaran? But basically, worms evolved, like ocean worms. And they evolved, and I'm not gonna say what they're called because they're named after something kind of interesting because of what they were shaped like, but they started burrowing into the ground, like into the seafloor, and that kind of changed the whole ecosystem dynamics. That moment when corporations are about as smart as proto-trees. Yeah, basically when we burn coal, we're putting the CO2 that those plants absorbed so long ago back into the atmosphere. But over like all the carbon dioxide that they absorbed over millions of years, and we're doing it very quickly. yeah, worms caused a mass extinction. Because it changed the dynamics of the seafloor. So, animals that couldn't really very well couldn't really find food because of this disturbances. I don't remember exactly what the issue was. But they changed the environment so much that a bunch of species just died. Which, you know, that sounds familiar. So, you know, the worms did it first. The worms were causing mass extinctions with environment manipulation before it was cool. Then, of course, there was, I don't remember what the mass extinction at the end of the Devonian was called. I mean, was caused by. I don't remember, but it was caused by life. You know, by something evolving and then the ecosystem just freaking out. But I know what caused the Permian Triassic mass extinction, the Great Dying, which killed like 96% of all species. Like, that was the closest life ever came to just being wiped out entirely. Because in what is now Siberia, basically the ground just opened. And, just like, it was, nowadays there we can find flood basalts. And that's basically what happens when lava just flows everywhere. So it didn't really explode. Well, flood basalt doesn't actually explode. But there was another factor here, and that was that the place where the lava emerged, that was right where a whole ton of coal was. So it ignited all of the coal. Because, you know, this happened millions of years after the Carboniferous, where the coal was made over millions of years from the dead trees. So basically the flood basalt. So basically imagine a lava lake the size of the continental United States. It was basically that. And it blew up so much, like, coal and stuff. The temperature rose so high that the oceans were about as hot as a jacuzzi. The temperatures on land would reach somewhere around like 140 degrees. Like, Earth almost became Venus. Yeah, see, this is what happens if you let Groudon rampage. Yeah, this is what happens if you fail at the end of Pokemon Ruby. But yeah, like, the carbon cycle completely melted down. The carbon cycle depends a lot on rain, and there's no rain. If you're like at 140 degrees. Though also, there were storms though. Hypercanes. Because you know what hurricanes need? Warm. They need warm water. The water is hot as a jacuzzi. You get hypercanes. Which are like, basically like, I think maybe like, well, they can have winds that are up to 500 miles an hour. And also, because of all the volcanism, there was a lot of sulfur, and so it was basically poisonous acid hypercanes. So you know what? I am surprised that there is still life on Earth. I'm sort of bit on the dry side of heat, yeah. God, this is like Pokemon Ruby and yeah, you got Rayquaza problems, you got Kyogre problems, you got Groudon problems. It's like the atmosphere freaks out, the continents freak out, the ocean freaks out. So, you know, it's no wonder that 96% of species died. Our ancestors, the synapsids, well, we are synapsids, but, you know, the ancestor synapsids, basically, they are theorized to have survived because they could retreat into burrows. Like, they lived underground. And, like, the ocean life that survived probably lived in the very deep sea. Because it's harder for the atmosphere to heat water that is, like, you know, benthic level. Also, all this stuff that I'm saying, most of it, I just learned today. Like, that's probably why I started talking about it, because I just learned... Like, I knew that the Permian Triassic extinction was caused by the Siberian traps. It was caused by, basically, the ground opening up and there being lava everywhere, and it ignited coal. I knew about that. I did not know how hot the Earth got. I did not know hypercanes were a thing. I did not know about acid, about all the noxious fumes and stuff. Well, I mean, I knew that there would be noxious fumes from volcanism. Yeah, basically this morning I binge-watched, Gutsit Gibbons videos about the mass extinctions. This is some Pokemon music in those videos. Like, there's one from Ruby and Sapphire that I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it's the Mount Pyre theme. But I'm not entirely sure about that. And then she also uses the Great Canyon theme from the first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So where does Mega Evolution come into play? Yeah, Primal Reversion and Mega Evolution. basically just what happens to the planet. Yeah, because Mega Evolution, because Rayquaza Mega evolves, but Groudon and Kyogre Primal revert. Earth fandom Lord Dumps go hard. Yeah, I did not realize that the Permian Triassic was just so much more metal than I thought. So much more actual apocalypse. Arceus, or is that the Book of Arceus as told in the Church of Arceus? But yeah, Arceus is just God. Except for not mean. So, you know, I like Arceus better. And I know it's technically supposed to be pronounced Arceus, but it's pronounced, well, I mean, it's spelled like it's in Roman, and Roman C's are hard C's. I'm on the craft of the world. It's 1,000 arms. Isn't that, I forget its name, but it's the genie one. The one that's basically a genie, or a djinn. Hoopa. Yes, Hoopa. That's the only one I can think of that would be described as having 1,000 arms. There is a legend of a djinn with 1,000 eyes. Like, basically just has eyes all over the body. So I guess biblically, I'm really joking. Biblically accurate djinn. No, I don't think that Lovecraftian horrors were biblically accurate. But then again, I was raised in England, so there's a couple of different things. But from what I was taught, angels just kind of look like... They mostly look like humans, except for they were, like, glowing. So, like, they didn't have wings or anything. They were just... people. Like, really tall, really glowy people. That's boring, nerd. That does make more sense, though, in the context of, like, mythology and stuff, like mythos. there were some really weird things described in the Bible. Like, I used to watch Ancient Aliens a lot because it was funny, all the conspiracy theories that just like really, it's just kind of a fun turn your brain off type of thing to watch. But there was this weird thing described in the Bible. All I can describe it is a thing, like maybe a chariot of some kind. I don't know, but ancient astronaut theorists believe that it was a, spaceship. And the way it is described is just really weird. I don't remember exactly what it was, and I'm too lazy to look it up. Well, also, I just want to keep playing to get through this. But it was some kind of weird... Like, if I saw that, I'd think it was a spaceship. Sounds silly, but I wouldn't be surprised. Rather, I didn't quite understand that. Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of a dumbass. Voice better than watching the show direct. Oh, thank you. I get the liking for voice though, because like my favorite Final Fantasy character has an amazing voice. Well, at least used to. Now it's just, the new voice is just kind of serviceable. It's not grating or annoying, thankfully. Just like, yeah, okay. Who can't? Like, nobody. I don't remember his first name. I don't remember the voice actor's first name. I remember his last name. Yeah, he did, like, seriously, you cannot be better than Newburn. You just can't. Because he did this thing with his voice. The new voice actor might do it too. I don't remember. But, it's a trick that you can do to make your voice sound a lot deeper than it really is. And, I don't remember exactly how you do it, but it's kind of like you add a bit of a growl to your voice and it sounds lower. It sounds deeper, rather. And I'm just like, why would... Claire, you need to address... You need to, like, stop being stupid about unions. the well-known trick for voice acting, yes. Yes. And if you can do it well, the results can be incredible. So, like, Newburn is my favorite English voice actor. Your Japanese voice actor is Okiayu Ryotaro. At least I think that's his name. I don't remember. I don't remember his name. I think that's his name. Let me... This is something I am wanting to look up because this is bothering me. I got it wrong. Okay. Playlist. It is. No? That's not it? Hang on. No, it is Okiayu Ryotaro. Or if you're using well, because that's the Japanese way of putting names. It's surname first. So his given name is actually Ryotaro. But he is the voice of Okiayu Ryotaro is the voice of Kuchiki Byakuya from Bleach. And boy, do I love Byakuya a lot. He's my favorite Bleach character. And you know, he did the same thing with just the voice. Really like deep, powerful voice. And I mean, being a noble, he's just kind of a snob. It's like if you pay attention to things that he does, you can tell that he's kinda lonely. Like, you can tell, like, you know, as, I mean, of course, in the first major arc, in the Save Rukia arc, he's the antagonist. But you eventually see that he is more complicated than he appears. Virgin just dudes but shinier angels versus the Chad Eldritch abomination. Yeah, they decided to go with that. Or, I guess they kind of just did. They didn't put eyes everywhere all over him, but they... With Sephiroth, I mean, save for Sephiroth, they took away his legs, and they gave him 3 pairs of wings, 6 wings instead of legs. So that's a little weird. It's like kind of almost quote-unquote biblically accurate, except for it's not as horrifying. It's just beautiful. I wonder if they're gonna do anything different or remake or safer. I mean, they did change Sephiroth's design for remakes slightly. They made his outfit more intricate, and also they retconned his height and made him a lot taller. Yes, that's who I'm talking about, yeah. Because he used to be, like, tall, but not... Like in the original, like, his canon height was, like... I don't remember. Oh, I think it was 6'1". But the retconned height is 6'7". Which he's just... like, that is ridiculous. He is just a Nephilim. Like, if I stood next to him, I would be up to his chest. That is... like... a problem with his abs. Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. That is correct. It is not something I mind. Actually, I have seen a clip, because I haven't played Remake. But I have seen a clip of Cloud, like, I think he's hallucinating. But he like turns around and Sephiroth is just right there, and Cloud is like right at eye level with his chest, and he just stares for a second and then looks up. It's very funny. I mean, I would be startled too if suddenly chest. So I don't have any context for that scene, because I've only seen a very short clip of it, but I'm pretty sure it's a hallucination. I don't think it's actually one of the clones or him himself, because I think that shows up in Cloud's dreams. Probably. Cloud probably has nightmares about him. But yeah, he does hallucinate him a lot. Ready? No. No, he is not. But you know what? Probably inspires exactly that level of terror. Well, more so probably, but just a different kind of fear. I've heard some people talk about how when they played the, originally the original Final Fantasy VII as a kid, that Sephiroth scared them. And I'm like, yeah, sounds about right. I don't know if I would have been scared of him as a kid. Maybe. I would have been scared of Jenova. Jenova would have scared me. But I'm not sure if Sephiroth would have. Maybe a little bit, because of that, the Nibelheim scene. The fire and everything, because I'm afraid of fire. But I think I would have been more afraid of fire than him specifically. Because, like, I wasn't... Like, for example, I wasn't afraid of Maleficent as a kid. Like, Sleeping Beauty was my favorite movie when I was a little girl, and, Maleficent was my favorite character. Specifically because A, she had a bird, and B, she turned into a dragon. And I thought that was cool. Oh, lightning rod. Let's see, yeah, Aurora was basically in a coma. What scared me as a kid, because there were definitely things. Oh, there was this one part in Pokemon Channel where you go into this old ruin and it's completely pitch black, and the music is kind of spooky. And that really scared me as a kid. Now it's my favorite part of the game. And I am very sad that it's only like about 5 minutes, that part. Like, there's these small lights in there that you find, and you have Pikachu use Thunderbolt on them, and then they light up. It's like the last part of the main story, I think. It was a really cute game. Channel. It's a very, very simple thing, because, you know, it's aimed at kids specifically. Like, you know, most of Pokemon is kind of aimed at kids, but it's more of an all ages thing. The Pokemon Channel was like specifically aimed at kids. Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. Or wait, is Victini? Is the Victini movie the one that has like two versions? One with Reshiram as the enemy and one with Zekrom as the enemy? Is that where Victini was in, or was that a different one? I have seen that pair of movies. I don't remember much. I just remember that some Pokemon were in opposite roles depending on the version of the movie. So that was kind of interesting that they did that. That was a little bit. But all I remember is Ash being on this, like, part of a ruin that started rising into the sky. And it was kind of visceral because it was... Well, not really visceral, but it was like... kind of dark a little bit in that the ruin was rising so high, and you know, obviously they couldn't get down, Ash and Pikachu, that, like, they started running out of oxygen. And they were, like, starting to lose consciousness. Like, that was surprising to see. Like, it's one thing to, you know, turn Ash into stone in the first movie. Because it's like, that's not a real thing that happens to people. But going up so high that you literally start to suffocate and die, that's very real. That's a very real thing. I mean, I think Ash nearly drowns in well, Ash nearly drowns in the second Pokemon. I don't think he's as... it's not as... like, you can tell that he was, like, near death when Misty saved him. Ash broke a fight with... Yeah, because in the first movie he turned to stone. And, I don't remember the Darkrai movie very much. Only that Dialga and Palkia were fighting. And that upset Darkrai. Because I think Darkrai was just trying to defend itself, I think? I don't know. I don't know the movies beyond 3rd gen very much. Because the ones that I've seen, I've only seen once. Darkrai was defending the city because of a promise to a little girl. Oh, right. Yeah, I remember a little bit of the Arceus movie, in which Arceus was, like, in ancient times, Arceus was betrayed by humans. And so he kind of wants to destroy everything. To pass judgment. Humans, and Ash ends up going back in time by accident. And he ends up changing the events. The point in which Arceus forgave people. That makes me wonder, is this like a Star Trek thing where there is just a broken off timeline that is just doomed? Movie was the Manaphy movie. Oh yeah, because Manaphy, I remember that one. Because Manaphy hatched and then imprinted on May. Yeah, Pokemon Ranger in the Temple of the Sea. Yeah, my favorite Pokemon also involved the ocean. And it is Pokemon the Movie 2000 with Lugia. That movie was my introduction to Pokemon. So it was the very first like, big exposure to Pokemon that I experienced. Because, like, my family being Christian and all, my mom had heard a lot of stuff about, like, Pokemon being bad or something. And, but my best friend at the time was like, no, it's not bad. It's about, like, you know, friendship and stuff. And she was like, well, let's rent this movie and like watch it all together so that like I can show you that it's not bad. And so we did. We went to Blockbuster and we rented the movie and we watched it, and yeah, it was very good. Yes, looking wanting pants because it was snowy and cold. I could use pants. Apparently, the person who designed Lugia was not the person that usually designs Pokemon. I don't remember his name. But, when he designed Lugia, he intended it to be female. Like a kind of a Mother Earth figure. He wanted it to be very maternal, very motherly, and symbolic of the bond between humans and Pokemon. But his design just ended up evoking, what's the Japanese god of the sea? Remember the lightning god, Aijin, but don't remember the other one. It's gonna be water and flying. They were afraid it was gonna be ignored. Yeah, they give it the psychic typings, like, specifically just because psychic is powerful. That was the reason. Which deity? The water god. I don't remember, but Lugia ended up resembling that. Luigi. Yeah, Luigi. Yeah, Lugia ended up resembling that concept a little too much. So they gave it a male voice. And apparently that really devastated the person who designed it. Because it was very... Well, because it was like Lugia was his baby, in a way. No, because, like, I'm a writer. I design characters, and I understand that, you know, characters you create are precious to you, so I can imagine, like, that he was very upset about it. Oh, the baby Lugia? Yeah, the Silver Chronicles or whatever it was. Never seen that. I've always wanted to. But yeah, I was actually, when I first watched Pokemon 2000, I was surprised that when it spoke and it was a male voice, I was surprised. For some reason, I thought it would, you know. So hearing that that was what the creator originally intended, it was like kind of a cool moment for me to realize that. Also, I have a Lugia persona that is female. I wonder if they made those episodes about a Mother Lugia. I'd have made that about, you know, a Mother Lugia because, like, as a tribute to its original designer, because I don't remember exactly what he died of, but it was related to, like, alcohol addiction. Which, like, a lot of his concepts, he created while drunk. Which is sad. Struggled so much. But it would also explain part of why he was so devastated about Lugia, because, you know, it's like, if you're, like, you know, like, the substance abuse, it comes from a place of despair, really. And to create something is kind of like a little bit of solace, almost. That's definitely how I use my characters, as kind of a break from reality, in a way. Like, thankfully I don't drink or anything. But I do struggle with illness. So my characters are kind of a way of coping with that. Shaman was cool. I had 2 voices. Yeah, that's right, because it went into the sky form. Because that was the movie with Giratina, right? Yeah, because it was Giratina in the Sky Ward. That's right, I remember I had a crush on the villain from that movie. His name was Zero. Yeah, speaking of OCs and, like, personas and stuff, this Altaria is named after my Final Fantasy VII persona. don't think she's like super great or anything, but you know, she's mine, and that is special. That makes sense. Like, there's a reason that I don't really involve myself in the Final Fantasy fandom. And that's because I'm pretty sure people would get really, really mad about, mad at me, the persona that I have. On an altar. Yeah, I mean, it's fluffy. Dude with Beavis and Shaman is gender fluid icon, yes. Headcanon accepted. Altaria faster and sweet. Don't worry, I'll stop talking about my OCs now. Well, yeah. Yeah, of course Nintendo wasn't trying to do that. They would be opposed to that. But, you know, it's just funny. It's just funny. Yeah, but I think you and Felix too are the only ones that I know for sure that I can impose that upon. On Facebook when it was again. Yeah, I never really did any like OC stuff on Facebook. I was more of a embarrassing, but I was more of a deviant art person. Though I also, at least when I was a teenager, in my early 20s, though, I on Tumblr a lot. It's, I think, even more embarrassing. Yeah, I've had some really embarrassing, awful OCs like when I was a teenager. I will not torture you by going into them. I don't even remember. I've been writing ever since I could pick up a pencil, but I don't know if I had any dedicated. Very little bit. For the record, my take is that seeing as it's your stream, these are great. You can talk about mine. Technically speaking, yes. But my hope is that I can kind of get a bit of a following. And that's just not something that I'm not good enough at making OCs to be able to talk about mine without putting people off, and I do not want to put people off. Talk about Ikara in the Crisis Core stream when I eventually do that. Don't think I'll be able to help myself. For games, yes, I mean... Oh, that's when Colosseum came out. Luigi's Mansion. Another reason to look forward to Crisis Core. Well, I've already told you specifically, you and Philo specifically, pretty much everything. And again, I don't know the entire specific story when it comes to Crisis Core. I know the general idea, the general plot points, but not much specifics. I also don't necessarily know in what order things happen. I did watch Vinny play the first mission, because I just wanted to see if it was, the gameplay was something that I would want. But I found out that, like, because I knew about Genesis and Angel, and I knew about them leaving, but I didn't realize that it happened so big. Like, when it starts, Genesis is already left. And I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's like you're kind of slowly figuring out who he is. But I didn't realize that Angel left, like, pretty much, like, very quickly. And I also, another thing about Crisis Core that I have no idea about, what Loveless is about. I have a feeling I'm gonna learn way too much. Like, Genesis is like that one friend that speaks in like that one friend that speaks only in quotes and memes, and to the point where friends decide, like, to do an intervention. Also during that stream, when Genesis appeared for the first time, somebody in chat was like, "Oh no, he's hot." I was like, yeah, fair. Doesn't hold a candle to Sephiroth like everything else about him, but have to needle him a little. But yeah, I mean, if Sephiroth wasn't a thing, yeah, I think Nemesis would be my favorite character. Any plans to look into Not yet. Not directly after Crisis Core. I'm gonna play the original Final Fantasy VII after Crisis Core. Because I do not want to play the remake until I've played the entire original. Until I've done a full playthrough. Because that will enable me to understand exactly how much was changed, and I will get to be thrown off in the same exact way. Like, it won't hit me as hard. Certain things. I kind of want to have the experience of, wait, what? Of being, like, thrown off and confused, like, oh shit, what do I do? I don't remember this. This isn't what happened in the original. Sadly, I do know what the end fight is. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's something that I just would have learned. That is just, like, very prominent thing. I do like Cloud's lines during that fight. That is particularly funny. Because one of Cloud's quotes, you know, in battle quotes, is, "Let's dance, asshole." And when I first saw that, it was just in a clip, and I was like, I never knew that I needed to hear Cloud calling Sephiroth an asshole. Never knew I needed that, but here it is. And he also says that to but it's more impactful saying it to Sephiroth. Picture Cloud being quiet. He is quiet. He's very soft-spoken. Actually, a bit like Sephiroth, actually. They are kind of similar in that regard, where they're both very closed, aloof individuals. Cloud didn't used to be that way, though. Sephiroth was, from what I understand, always like that. Understandable, considering the way he grew up. Yes, the dress. Yes. That is, like, my favorite thing about that. Like, favorite thing that exists in that game, besides Sephiroth. That one mission. I already kind of knew about it, like, because I played through the first part of the original Final Fantasy VII. Like, I played through the Midgar section and a little bit further than that. So I did do the Cloud Wears a Dress mission. And the other crewmates knew about that. Yes, yes, because Aerith was present for that, and Tifa was present for that. I mean, it was Aerith's idea to do that. Because... yeah, because Tifa was trying to get information out of this one guy. That is, you know, affiliated with Shinra. Really embarrassing for Cloud. Yes, but not... I don't think... I don't think as much as most guys would think. I mean, he did it, for one. Like, he was like, alright, fine. This is what we gotta do to get in there? Then sure. Well, I mean, he was annoyed. But, you know, he has such soft features that he was able to pull it off really well. Cloud is very soft. I think he's too cute to be taken seriously. Like, I mean, he has a giant sword. Like, ace. Holding the Buster sword. Well, he does have very strong arms, but yeah, he's got it's the Mako thing. And being experimented on, but you know, that's another thing entirely. Not as jacked as Sephiroth is, though. And again, I had canon that Sephiroth was the youngest person ever to have the Mako treatment thing. Like I had canon they did that to him when he was very young. And I assume that's probably how he, kind of wrote off in his mind, like, no, I'm different from other people because I just, different from other soldiers just because I got my Mako earlier. That's, while I was still growing up, so, that's what it was, absolutely. Just kind of denying that there is something very different about him. Because he kind of doesn't really want to face that. And just, the whole Nibelheim mission just kind of forced him to recognize it. But like I've said before, I mean, if you stay up for 3 days, yeah, you are capable of murder at that time. You lose all your boundaries after 3 days of not sleeping or eating anything. Like, just that by itself. I'm sure I'd be capable of murder after not sleeping and not eating for 3 days. Yes, he did. I mean, I've stayed up for 3 days before because I was extremely anxious. I had like this horrible anxiety attack and I couldn't sleep. There was also a time where I was put on a new medication and it took away my ability to sleep. I only slept like a half hour, like, per 24-hour period. And, like, I stopped taking that medication as soon as I realized what was happening. But it took a long time to go back to normal, and I was just wrecked. I was hallucinating. I was, like, incredibly anxious and agitated. So yeah, I can absolutely see like just that alone threatening somebody to murder. You can't really think properly if you haven't slept. Yeah, you can't really rationalize very well. It is. I think after this area I'm gonna save and oh god. Did the mic pick that up? So somebody in the apartment complex where I live has this like muscle car and it doesn't have a muffler. It is the freaking loudest thing. you doing? It is 1 in the morning. Okay, good. This mic is pretty good then. That was so loud that I heard it. Like, I have headphones on. And I still heard it really, really loud. So that mic... So this mic is... I mean, the car looks cool. I think it's a Dodge. Dodge model. I don't know very much about it. I mean, it's cool looking. I can appreciate a good looking car, but I don't like it when it's really loud. Like, unless I am watching a drag race. I hate when they take mufflers away, because mufflers make the sound go away. Well, quieter, be quieter. Certified my brother in Christ. Yes. Yes, it is. Person's just like, oh boy, 1 AM. Mufflers enhance no, because I mean they muffle. So most cars have mufflers as standard. At least I think. Listen, I know nothing about cars. Literally all of my car knowledge comes from Top Gear. Which is what led to my appreciation of cars. Like, you know, car even though I don't understand. Like, you know, I don't... Again, I'm not sure if Jeremy Clarkson is entirely, like, I mean, you know, he has a great deal of car knowledge, he's a car journalist, but, like, the actual mechanics, how it works, like, very, very deep technical stuff, James does, though. May absolutely does. Because James is the sort of guy that will... Like, they play it up a little bit. But, like, he likes really intricate stuff. Anyways, so I think... Oh, I saved. But I'm gonna do it again. Brain is dumb. So, yeah, so this'll be it for the night, because my brain is starting to melt. Starting to get into, like, blogging. But, thank you for watching. So I didn't realize I'd have to basically do the whole challenge. Yes, I'm doing it again. But, no, I mean, it's not taking super long. And mostly beating everything in 2 hits. But, you know, need the points. But, yeah, I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll be able to complete the whole challenge next time, but, you know, who knows. Good night.